As you know, February is the month when America takes a few weeks to feel bad about all the racist stuff we've done while also preparing for all the new racist stuff we'll do for the rest of the year. So there's no better time to play our favorite game.
Is it racist?
The answer is always
Yes.
Let's see what our topic is tonight. Oh boy. Pop culture loves to depict Greek life as a harmless rite of passage where the worst thing that happens is the dean suspending you for putting boobs on the mascot. But fraternities were built centuries ago on principles of white supremacy that still infect the system today. And despite the Greek name, Frats are mostly an American abomination, like Street Heroes or George Stephanopoulos. It all began in 1776 at the College of William and Mary. That's where a bunch of elite pricks founded Phi Beta Kappa for wealthy white Christian men to discuss philosophy in secret. It was kind of like Dead Poet Society if you hoped they all got trapped in that cave. Similar societies followed, many with charters explicitly prohibiting members who weren't white Christians, which isn't surprising for a time when the most progressive cause was raising money so whales could have wigs. But the discrimination continued well beyond the whales and wigs era.
Throughout the majority of the 1800s and 1900s, white fraternities and sororities often had whites-only clauses in their constitutions.
Coincidentally, the whites only clause is also QAnon's favorite Christmas movie. In a backlash against the civil rights and counterculture movements, Greek life grew in the mid-20th century. Some frats continued requiring members to be of the Caucasian race or have full Aryan blood and punished chapters for admitting Black or Jewish members. Decades after segregation officially ended, Greek life segregation unofficially continued. The University of Alabama didn't have its first integrated rush until 1991. Your first integrated rush shouldn't be younger than the band Rush. Black students had responded to segregation by starting their own fraternities and sororities, creating a safe haven. Finally, they could be in a space where music plays and everyone dances on beat. These Divine Nine houses have 2.5 million members, including Kamala Harris, whose time at Alpha Kappa Alpha helped her develop leadership skills and a vital support network. Like many Black sororities, AKA's members are passionate about civic engagement through fundraising, get out the vote operations, and a lifelong commitment to service. Of course, white frat boys are also known for doing service, but it's usually a different kind. Unfortunately, Black fraternities and sororities aren't always treated as well as their white counterparts. For example, they've rarely had their own houses on campus. When a Black frat was set to become the first on the University of Mississippi's Fraternity Row in 1988, their house was burned down before they could move in. And when Black students have gathered in their own organizations, they've been accused of self-segregating. But when they try to integrate, they're repeatedly told they're not welcome. Despite promises to become more diverse, racism in white Greek life remains a constant.
Well, a Clemson University fraternity has been suspended after members threw a gang-themed party over the weekend.
These Penn State Chi Omega sorority sisters posing at a Mexican-themed party, complete with mustaches and signs reading, "We'll mow lawn for weed and beer." And I don't cut grass, I smoke it.
Samford University's Alpha Delta Pi sorority designed this t-shirt you see here to give away as gifts for a formal. The t-shirt, though, included a picture of an African-American man eating watermelon and a slave picking cotton.
A Yale University fraternity is in the hot water over a claim that members instituted a white girls only policy at a weekend party.
Sadly, we never would have known about it if it hadn't been for two brave undercover agents. Even if we magically ended racism, frats are still a menace between the reckless drinking, the hazing, the sexual assault, and their new status as COVID super spreaders.
Greek life has really, for generations, been a public health problem. And I think that's coming to the fore in the era of COVID-19. At one point, an organization of insurers rated fraternities as just above toxic waste dumps.
And only because all the alcohol-filled vomit in frats sometimes weirdly disinfects their toilets. Part of the reason it's so hard for colleges to control frats and sororities is because of the money funneled in by Greek life. These organizations are built on exclusivity and networking, giving them influence in the halls of power. Only 2% of the population goes Greek, but they're overrepresented among trustee boards, administrators, CEOs, and even congressmen, senators and presidents. And to get in, they all had to stick their dick in the old boar's head above the fireplace. Now, obviously, the best solution to the Greek problem would be to ban the ages of 18 to 22. Those people are the worst, except for the ones who are now disaffiliating from their own fraternities and sororities and even calling to abolish the whole system. Unfortunately, members can't permanently close a chapter. The school itself would have to make that decision, and some colleges have done just that. And I think we can all agree that these are the coolest, most happening colleges out there. Swarthmore is the alma mater of Michael Dukakis. Awesome! Colby College has a whittling club for people with a passion for making wood into smaller wood. Tart! And Bowdoin has a totally outrageous board game club whose meetings have been hailed as well attended. It's lit. Scrabble! 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 Some people are calling for Greek life to be reformed rather than abolished, and if fraternities and sororities can change their ways, fine. But they've been given so many second chances only to screw up over and over again. At a certain point, isolated incidents are no longer isolated, and you have to wonder if a system built on white supremacy and exclusion is simply working as intended. Perhaps the solution has been in front of us all along, right there in the sacred scripture of frat culture.
The issue here is not whether we broke a few rules or took a few liberties with our female party guests. We did. But you can't hold a whole fraternity responsible for the behavior of a few sick, perverted individuals. Or if you do, then shouldn't we blame the whole fraternity system?
Sounds good to me. Time to put all those on double secret probation. Aw, thanks for watching. If you'd like to hear more from Full Frontal, hit subscribe and visit our page for more videos. Or if you'd like to be radicalized, leave YouTube on autoplay.